Hello, this is Mohammed Jallo, and I'm doing a video on globalization and an example of a company that has experienced globalization issues and how they go about fixing it. First off, I would like to start on the topic of globalization and some of the issues that are involved with it. One of the two things that were mentioned in chapter 11 of the book is that globalization usually involves a culture gap and education gap. Because it involves the developed world and the developing world, it is obvious that people in the developed world are higher educated compared to the developing world. And so it is highly possible that when technology from the developed world gets transferred to the developing world, it is possible that people that are not either educated or due to their cultures, they are not a fit for that technology, will get to use it. And so this will lead to issues for any company that is transferring technology to these countries. One example, as I thought about this task for the discussion, that came to mind was Facebook. We all know that over the past few years, I will go to a decade, Facebook has had issues with misinformation in this country, in the United States, as well as all around the world. 2 years ago, the Washington Post reported issues that happened in India due to misinformation on Facebook and WhatsApp. And these resulted in tragic incidents of people being killed. Due to the education gap and cultural differences, people out in the developing world that use these technologies usually do not have the ability or think about the possibilities of whatever they're seeing being fake and being misinformed. And so for Facebook, for example, they need to think about ways to develop their technology in a way that it will handle misinformation, not only in the United States, which is very important, obviously, but also in these other countries. Now, the solution to this problem is easier said than done. Do they have to develop technology that will automatically handle misinformation, or do they have to separate it for each country? That is also easier said than done because every country has its cultural differences and education gap, and it is almost nearly impossible for Facebook to develop something that will be different for each country. And so do they handle this via software or artificial intelligence? That is a possibility. But I think one way Facebook can go about this is posting and emphasizing on misinformation on their sites at all times. Always telling users that whatever you see on the internet needs to be fact-checked and it should not be believed. I think one overlooked thing when it comes to globalization is that is the transfer of bad technology. I think everything that comes from the developed world, the US mainly and the West in general, is often automatically assumed to be good technology due to the amount of resources that are available to make them happen. But I think also in order to really make sure that globalization is going at a fast pace and in a good way is that we need to make sure that internally in the United States, we are looking at these technologies and making sure that when they go out there and distribute it in the developing world, it is something that will be used for good purposes and not something that can be used either against us or against other people. And that's really what I had for this discussion. I would like to hear everyone's thoughts on this, and thank you very much.